All right, great. So today we're going to talk about the midsection, and a lot happens in the midsection when it comes to bioenergetics, basically how our mind and our body connect and what this section of our body tells our mind and how our mind affects this part of our bodies. Now, I'm not going to be able to go into everything about this section because there's 4 different parts that we can talk about, and each one deserves their own video in itself, all right? But I'll give a little bit about each one. So when we're talking about the midsection, we're talking about the hips, the pelvis, and then also the psoas. Additionally, we're going to talk about the belly and the lower back. So this is what we're going to call the midsection, all right? So let's just go right into the hips and the pelvis. Hips and pelvis have a lot to do with our sexual feeling, our ability to feel free, to feel sexy, our ability to move. You can see how many people, when they dance, they love it because they're able to move these muscles and their pelvis, and they can enjoy it, right? That's why so many people enjoy doing that, enjoy dancing and going out and expressing themselves. And that's why also dancing is many times seen as a sexy or sexual thing, right? Additionally, you can also see it in people who walk. Some people just have a sexier walk, and normally it's because they're, well, first of all, grounded, right? We always talk about grounded, but also they're able to move. They're able to move their pelvis with an ease, with a grace. And then there's some people that they walk and they're just like, not very sexy. Sorry, not very sexy. And many times it's because they have neurotic holding patterns in their pelvis, in their hips, right? Now let's go into the psoas so we don't go too deeply into every single one. The psoas also is very important, but it has a lot much more to do with fear and anxiety. So our psoas muscles is what connects our lower half to our upper half. Very important muscle. You can look up a lot about the psoas and anxiety, how our brain also quickly decides when we're in a fight or flight mode, and it just lets our psoas know, boom, tight, go, without actually us having to even consciously think about it. But the problem is when it happens chronically, and then you have chronic tight psoas muscles. Maybe you have a lot of trauma in your past, you were fearful a lot, and then you just had chronic tight psoas, which allows your brain to know, like, we're not safe. We're not safe. And then your brain also is like, oh, dang, we're not safe. Cortisol, right? And then just starts flooding your system with these different hormones that you don't want, right? So the psoas, and we'll go deeper into this in other lessons, but the psoas and the mind, big component has to do with fear and anxiety. So that's what we have to work on that section as well, okay? Sexuality, motility, movement, feeling sexy, feeling graceful, fear and anxiety. That's that section, right? The next one is going to be the lower back. We'll also talk about the lower back. This is very, very important as well. The lower back is a place that many people have a lot of tightness. The lower back is a place where you hear a lot of people need surgery, or it's just like, man, dude, my back hurts, and it's always like back here. It's like, oh, and there's a big reason for this. Normally our brain, when we go into stressful situations, a traumatic experience or whatnot, it throws all that stuff like in the back of our body. And you'll notice this as you learn more about bioenergetics. It's just like, all right, I want to front face you with like the best parts of myself, right? So that's why you don't, the body's not going to throw it over here in the front, be like, oh, okay, it's all over here. No, it throws it in the back where it's like out of sight, out of mind, can't see it. Throw all the neurotic holding patterns back there. So you'll notice that a lot of people, probably including yourself, have very tight hamstring muscles, like your glutes, your back, your back of the shoulders, your upper back, the neck area, all up here is very tight on most people. But the lower back specifically is that place where your lower half and your upper half meet, right? So there's just a big component to it. It has to do with our ability to handle the stressors of life, right? Because it's holding us up from the ground, right? So your lower back has a big job to do. It's gotta hold you up It's got to hold you up and hold you straight, right? We're the only animal that really walks bipodal, right? On 2 feet, right? We're the only one. So our back has to do a lot of freaking work compared to other animals who walk on 4. It's different. So for us, our lower back has to do a lot, holding us up erect, up, and then also it gets all the gravity pulled down from the top section. So it's just constantly getting hit with both. It's just stress upon stress. So that's what we're going to work a lot on our lower back. And we're going to go deeper into the reasons and the psychological significance of what comes up and what comes down. But just know that for now. Next piece is going to be the belly. And the belly is known as the center of our meditative quality, let's say, or like our peaceful center, something like that, right? So realistically, when you breathe deeply into your belly, and one of my mentors says, breathe into your balls. Like really breathe deeply down in there. When you're able to just breathe that way, you just quickly and easily are able to calm down. It's such an important place in our bodies that often gets overlooked, our bellies. And it's one of those areas that when stressors do arise, and they do come, when you practice and you have the experience of allowing your belly just to be free, be relaxed, be open, and allows you to breathe fully, all you got to do is, like, a stressor comes, person's doing this, you just, that's it. Just let your belly out. And then you're already in a calm, peaceful state. And then you can respond in a whole different way. You're so much more at peace. Somebody could be yelling at you. I've had this experience. Somebody's like, yelling at me. All right. Yep. And then you're calm. That's what matters. It's your own peace, your own calmness. And a lot of that has to do with your belly. And a lot of us have tight bellies for many different reasons. And we'll go into that in different videos, specifically when we talk about the belly. So this video is just an overview of this section of the body, the midsection. And we're going to talk more about the upper section and then also the face and eyes as well in different videos. So this is just a little bit of a teaser for more that's to come, all right?